Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to call to order this Thursday, August 24th meeting of the Capital Investment Committee. We'll do a roll call. Alderman Blanton. Here. Alderman Hanson.
Here.
And Alderman Berger is running late, but will be here. The chair is here as well. To start us off, Eric?
Sure. Well, I'll let our engineering director, city engineer Paul Holzen, introduce a new team member that's going to be joining us. You may see on some Thursdays especially, and it's a unique opportunity for him and for us, so I'll let Paul take the formal introduction.
Sean Turner, you can stand up and wave at everybody. He's a high school student at Franklin High, and they have an engineering and architectural program. So he's going to be with us doing an internship Mondays and Thursdays from 2:30 till 5. And what we're going to do with him is try to break him into some of the engineering stuff that we do. We're also going to get him involved in building and neighborhood services and planning. And hopefully while he's here, we're going to assign him a few projects. And he's got his first traffic calming project coming up over off of Old Liberty Pike. He's going to be helping out with that project. So very excited to have him and wanted to introduce
What's
him.
the tenure of the internship? Through the end of the year?
To the end of the year.
He's finishing up senior year and be heading off to study engineering in college, it looks like. This is a great outgrowth of some of our interaction in the community with Williamson Inc. and with Williamson County Schools and their career technology track. And we were thrilled to be able to tie in and have Sean do this. It'd be great for him, great for us. So welcome, Sean.
Yeah, congratulations and welcome. It's a great team to learn from and to work with, so welcome.
You might get to present to this group sometime with the traffic calming item. So
Thursdays
stay
work out
tuned.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start with item number 1, consideration of approval of minutes for the June 22nd Capital Investment Committee meeting. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second?
Okay. Roll call vote. Alderman
Yes.
Blanton. Alderman
Yes.
Hanson. Chair votes yes. Item number 2, consideration to deny sewer availability for 1951 Carters Creek Pike.
Yeah, this is a property that has come in requesting sewer denial. It's 1951 Carters Creek Pike. It's in the southwest of the city. It's kind of just south of where Carters Creek Pike and Old Carters Creek Pike intersect. It's approximately 30 acres. They're planning a landscape nursery there. The sewer for that area, according to the basin plan that we have for it, it would actually flow southwest to sewer that has not been constructed yet, to a pump station that would have to be constructed, to a force main that would have to be constructed. There's just no sewer available to this property. The applicant, in addition, previously requested removal from the urban growth boundary, and this was one of multiple properties that were presented to, I believe, 2 different work sessions in April and June of last year. So they've requested denial. Water Management is we're recommending denial as well, so.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
I'll second, but I want to make a disclaimer because I've been associated with this property as a realtor for many years, and it is my active listing that is under contract.
Okay. Do we want to push this item to the end when Bev gets here to be able to get a vote?
I don't have any problem voting on
Voting,
it.
okay,
Only
great, okay.
because we absolutely have no sewer service there.
Yes, gotcha. Okay, great. Then we'll go ahead.
Under contract now.
It is, it's been under contract.
And there's a number of properties here we've already done this for in this area too, right? So,
South Hall is catty corner.
Yeah.
To get a good idea.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yep.
Chair votes yes. Passes 3-0.
We did have a motion. Guess who made them? Either one of us. Yes. And either one of us second. I think I made the motion.
Thank you.
Gabrielle seconded it with comment, remember?
I just forgot to call.
Not a problem.
All right, thank you. Item number 3, consideration of City of Franklin contract number 2023-0208 with Gresham Smith for the Carters Creek Pump Station upgrade in the amount of $106,930.
So this is just one of our annual, we're trying to kind of tackle at least 1 or 2 stations every year that are just in need of some love. This was in our budget. It's one of our tiered consultants that was, on our approved, our pre-select, that's the word, our pre-select list from a couple years ago. So we're just, trying to start forward with it as the beginning of the fiscal year.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
ready to vote? Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yep.
And chair votes yes. Item passes 3-0. Item number 4, consideration of City of Franklin contract number 2023-0215 with Hazen and Sawyer for the long-term raw water management plan Phase 4.
Yeah, so this is the fourth phase of this contract which is really just the fourth fiscal year that we've had this. It's just a continuing kind of on-call contract. This was in our budget as well with Hazen to help us maintain the algal growth and kind of some of the nutrients that we see developing in the reservoir during this hot period of time of the year. So they provide on-call services with, through phone calls and kind of some additional sampling needs and requests that we have.
Great. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yep.
Chair votes yes. Passes 3-0. Item number 5, consideration of draft change order 2 to City of Franklin contract number 2022-0182 with Heron Construction Company for the water treatment plant valve access improvements project for a time extension of, I believe, 21 days. Yep, 21 days.
So I will be quiet after this one. So this is actually, it's, the change order is actually for 18 days. We made a mistake, and so it's going back through the legal process, but did want to get it on the agenda to be presented to you. So when the initial water plant was constructed, the stairs that lead from the main level down to the basement were not constructed to code. And it was missed by our inspector at the time. So when we went to construct the mezzanine, which is kind of taking that floor and taking it out, over near the GACs, we had to do a little bit of minor modification so that grade wouldn't become a tripping hazard. And that's just what this is. It took a little bit of time for us to just to kind of work through that process with our consultant. There was a monetary amount to it, but that'll be a different change order at a separate time. They are nearing the end of their contract, so we did want to go ahead and get this approved, so there was no question when they went past their substantial completion date.
So do we make an amendment because it says 21 days and it's 18, or no? Remind me of the 18 and 21 day.
Yeah, so
difference.
we made a mistake in counting the days. It is 18 days. In the actual change order says 18 days. So I don't know, Angie, if.
We can change this memo for when it goes.
Yeah, so we'll change the actual item that's
Okay, so
voted
no,
on.
just vote on it as
Because what you're
written.
actually voting on has 18 in it.
Yes,
The actual contract.
the document.
Okay, well, I will make a motion to approve then.
Second?
Question, what item are you on, what is it?
Number 5.
What is it?
It's the extension of the contract to Heron Construction for the valve access improvements.
okay.
And that was the one that was sent, the revised one that was sent.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, got it. Yeah, I have it. Yeah, I have it, I've read it, I'm good.
Ready to vote? Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yep.
Alderman Berger?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, passes 4-0.
Sorry about that.
Item number 6, consideration of draft amendment 1 to City of Franklin contract number 2020-0009 with Alfred Benesch and Company to include subsurface utility engineering services with the design of the Lewisburg Pike Sidewalk Multi-Use Trail Project at a cost increase of $91,800.
So if you'll remember, we took the sidewalk trail project, we broke it up into 3 phases with the goal of delivering the urbanized section quick, and that's where we get the most complaints and requests. They've been requesting it for many, many years. And so we're at a point right now where we're actively going to start the right-of-way acquisition. But during that process, we want to verify that the utilities are where they were located, and everything will flow much smoother during construction to verify where those utilities are. So it's not going to slow the project down, but we do want to do the validation of where they are to help with the phasing of the project. And October timeframe, we're hoping to get all the appraisals in, and we can start making offers. It's about 14 tracts of land we'll be dealing with, which is about a year process. And so we look forward to moving that project forward. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion, questions? Ready to vote? Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yep.
Alderman Berger?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Passes 4-0. Item number 7, consideration of draft amendment 1 to City of Franklin contract number 2019-0155 with the Tennessee Department of Transportation for the Harlansdale Farm Multi-Use Path and Bridge Project to add $1,226,816.80 in Federal Transportation Alternatives Program funds to extend the project completion date to May 31st, 2024.
So this is good news. I'm gonna let
Yeah,
Jonathan.
we like voting on these things.
I'm gonna let Jonathan do it. Jonathan really works closely with TDOT, and when they trying to identify excess funds or different funding, and there's a group of us that do, but Jonathan's really the one that primarily handles that, so I'm gonna let him share the good news.
So as you recall, the Harlansdale project actually has $2 million in federal TAP funds already to help construct that project. That's to be used in the construction phase only. The construction contract itself is about $3.5 million. CE&I is about $500,000. So we're talking about $4 million in total. TAP funds are 80% federal funds and 20% local funds. We got contacted about a month ago from TDOT local programs, and they said, we've got some excess TAP funds that are about to expire because there's obligation deadlines on those federal funds that if they're not obligated by the end of the federal fiscal year, which is the end of September, that those funds just go away. They go back into the federal coffers. So they said, we know you've got this active project. Can you use some additional funding? And we said, well, obviously we've already gone through all the hard paperwork. We'll take, Paul and I joked and said, we'll take an additional $5 if you've got it. We don't have to go through any more paperwork. So luckily enough, we have good enough working relationship with both the MPO and TDOT that they thought of us when they did this. So we said, absolutely, please do whatever you can. They said, well, might not be enough to cover all of what you need, but said, that's fine. We'll take what we can get. So it was pretty substantial, more than 50% of what we had left. So on the construction phase, again, construction and CE&I, this actually brings the city's burden down. We were actually going to pay a little over 50% on construction. It actually brings it down to, we're only going to pay about $800,000 on construction now for that project. So very, very good news.
That's awesome.
I love the randomness of the figure, like it's not, yeah, it's like to the penny.
Again, we would have taken $1, $5,
Yeah.
20 cents.
Thanks for negotiating them up from $5 to $1 million
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. That's a heck of a negotiation. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
I'll second.
Okay. Yeah, this is a great one, and for such this is not an insignificant project. I mean, the connectivity of this, the bigness of this, and for it to come in at basically $800,000 to the city to build it is pretty phenomenal. So anyway, that's awesome. All right, ready to vote? Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
And chair votes yes, passes 4-0.
One quick note on this, just they're educating me a little bit on this project today. You've got the bridge construction, and then you'll add the public art component as part two. And so you'll see in the next meeting or two, a contract related to the artist that's going to do the public art component. So we're already pouring some decking and things are moving along, but that component will be there, and it should be still right on track for completion around the May, June frame of next year.
Yeah,
So
the contractual completion is, like I said, I think middle to end of May next year, and we're still on track for that.
Okay.
So, yeah, you'll just see a second agreement come through that's with the artist. It's not a lot of money, but we want you to see it and approve it. The Arts Commission's been involved, and so
Yes, we have.
it'll be good.
Question, just because of where this is situated with pilgrimage coming up, are they gonna stop work? Are they gonna, what's the plan there?
They won't work that weekend, and they normally don't work on the weekends unless they're actually actively trying to
I
get
mean,
something major done, but.
Yeah, I didn't think weekend, but I mean, all the load in and all
Yeah,
that, they'll still work.
Yeah, they'll secure the site, and we're encouraging them to do a little extra security on the site. And obviously, Pilgrimage itself has actual security there, and we have police officers there, but we're encouraging the contractor to put some additional measures up to actually secure that area of the site to keep people from crossing over. Because the bridge is, you could technically walk across, the deck's been poured, but
You shouldn't say that out loud.
we're not, well, obviously, we're not encouraging in that. And when you walk down through there, it's not like you would see that, but it'll be
See
closed
me
off. We'll
tiptoeing
have some
over.
fencing up. There will be
Neighborhood
barriers.
flyer, Matt
So-
generate.
And we have,
Exactly.
we have an amazing events group that
Yeah.
goes into the planning, the emergency safety portion of it. We'll work with them as well. I'm sure they will be inspecting it, and if they have things they need, we will work with them.
And actually, for what it's worth, we were told today by park staff that actually police plans on having their personnel on the opposite side of the river to make sure people are tempted to cross the river.
Okay, I'll stay off the bridge. Man, oh man, I get it. I'll stay off. I'm just anxious.
We have plenty of pictures.
Good enough. All right, now, item number 8 is the capital projects dashboard and status updates for August. I know we're getting ready to walk into a work session to talk about capital projects, but are there any questions from the board today on any active projects?
I do not.
I will at least say Southeast Park, and I told Eric this the other day, we're preparing to bid within hopefully the next 30 days, get that advertised out. Now, it'll take some time. We're going to give, it's a huge project. So we're going to give a lot of time to the GCs to bid it, put their bids together, probably 30 to 45 days. There'll be some time and delay of trying to award that during the holiday time frame, and then hopefully starting in January. So I'm excited to move that one forward.
Me too.
Yes.
On that part, in the initial phase, how many fields in the initial phase, and what kind of fields are there? And are we doing turf or grass?
5 fields, and one is artificial turf, and 4 of them are natural turf.
Okay.
And
Multi-sport?
Yes,
Playground.
they're rectangular, and the playground.
Playground's in the first phase.
Yes.
I know, and that's where I want it. I know, just curious. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm grateful that we'll have it
Mm-hmm.
at all.
And I don't know if you mentioned this too, we'll be bidding in parallel the Robinson Lake component. You may have said that, I didn't.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that will be bidding in parallel. We hope that helps us, that they may see the opportunity to leverage both those projects and have common bidders across them. So that will be coming as well. And that's a huge impact in the southeast, obviously, across the community.
And should that project come in too high, we've also actually submitted on the competitive ARPA funding to try to get funding for it, but we're trying all efforts to get it funded.
Yeah, the dam repair is in there, so we're working on other funding to bring in as well. So if they got some other money sitting around, we'll take it.
Awesome.
McEwen 4. Sorry, I was like, what is she saying? What is she saying? You want to get the update on McEwen 4?
I can. For McEwen 4, we're finalizing, again, we finalized the plans. Plans are ready to go. We've submitted, we're getting permits right now. We're finalizing the permit for the railroad is what we're working on now, and
Oh.
trying,
We could be here till next year with them.
we're actually making progress with, we're communicating with them, so they're communicating back with us, and we've made the changes they've asked for.
It's been
minor-
going on for a year and a half.
Yes,
So
we're in the latter stages
we're
of
in the
that.
last
I know,
stages.
because we could be here for another year with the railroad, so don't tell me anything bad about that.
No, we've been
You know how that
communicating
is.
with them.
It
I
can be.
literally called them
We've
myself.
been working for like a
years
year and a
ago.
half with
No,
them. This is the
they've been
final
communicating
stage.
with us.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they're continuing to move the
Yes,
ball.
yeah.
Talk
Anything-
about additional, we're still pursuing some additional
Yeah,
funding
additional
in this
funding.
project too. Do you kind of update there?
When we get a little closer to actually bidding and know the numbers, we'll go back to the MPO because we're using surface transportation block grant funding. Whatever the overages are at that time, we'll request additional funding at that time. I don't know
Service over
what or
peers.
if we can get additional
Yeah.
funding, but because of the program we're using, we can request additional
Yeah.
funding at that time when we know what the
Well,
funding need actually
It's
is.
just like the other night, talking about City Hall, we got to get into the project and continues, even during City Hall project, McEwen 4, all those, through the whole projects, continue to look for those grants that will come up that can jump on and
Absolutely.
apply.
And luckily, at
apply
the
for.
current time with the surface transportation block grants, there's
I know we'll get some more of
there's such
those.
I won't say a backlog of projects. There are a backlog of projects, but it's been difficult to spend because there's such a process to go through to authorize that funding and to authorize federal and state funds. That it's been difficult to spend those funds on larger projects. So there's a lot of funds sitting in reserve. So it's been used as kind of a first come, first serve for the projects that have been approved for that
Approved,
funding.
Yes.
So that's actually good news for the projects that are getting near to bid because there's opportunities for additional funding when those come up. It's not a guarantee, but there are opportunities when it comes along, when you have some cost overruns that is looked at, and those opportunities are there.
Yep.
We're putting out the advertisement for construction, engineering, and inspection. We'll be going out here shortly, and we're gearing that up so that it can line up with when we bid the project.
And it has to.
And it has
And how are
to.
we coming with Jordan Road?
Did you want to ask a question?
I was just going to say bidding November-ish, end of the year?
November, December, you're still
Okay.
online for bidding the end of the year, yes.
All right, all right.
Jordan Road's going good. We just confirmed we're closing on the last track, and we have one in condemnation. So as soon as those two are done, then we're able to
We probably
bid.
go out to bid.
I've essentially said to Jonathan and William, we need to be shooting for a bid date of October, which is when we expect the
Okay,
court date
good.
to settle that, but the plans are in great shape.
We're
need to
just
write-
finalizing utilities right now.
Have you heard from Ralph from South Star? Because they said they were waiting on finishing their finances, but what street department wasn't sure that they'd been able to communicate anything with them. Did we know anything about?
Respect to Liberty Pike?
For Liberty Pike.
I'll follow up
for-
with them.
from Crothers to Knolltop Lane at the college for the widening. It's
It's
going to be
100
four lanes.
It's 100% in their hands, but I can follow up with
I
them
know.
and get
Would
you
you
a
please
deadline.
call Ralph?
Yes, ma'am.
Because he said they were waiting on the funding papers be signed or something, and Steve said, we don't know anything about it because we haven't been able to communicate with them.
I'll make a phone call.
And I'm like, okay.
Ralph's usually great
th-
to talk with.
Sure, he is,
so-
but they might have been missing phone calls, so,
Okay. I will follow up with them.
yeah, thanks. Appreciate
And
that.
neighbors of Del Rio should see paving happening right now?
They should be. They were supposed to see it yesterday, but it didn't happen, and I was out there on site looking at it. I don't know if the pavers made it today, but I know that they're actively working on getting, Volunteer Paving is the one doing it. They're actively working on getting them there to the site. This is a hard time of year because everybody wants to get their paving done
Sure.
right about now, so I can follow up.
Our streets director, Steve Grubb, told me today, September 1 opening is what they're looking for Del Rio. It'll be on binder, it won't be final paving, but so we're still looking at September 1 as the time frame for that, so a week from Friday,
That will be wonderful.
July last year.
For all of us.
Any others?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, all in favor? All right.
Move for approval to adjourn.